I'll welcome everybody to the second of our doubleheader on this Easter Saturday at the Geelong Arena, featuring the Luina Geelong Supercats men's team versus the Eltham Wildcats. I'm Seb Loader. With me in the commentary to this evening is Anna Teague. And Anna, welcome to game 2 of our doubleheader. Certainly some athletic warm-ups going on from the Eltham team. They've kept the southern end crowd very happy down there. There's some guys that are able to do some things that most of us only wish we were able to do with the basketball.
Hopefully that's a good sign of good things to come.
As in they're worn out, or that they'll be able to do that in the game?
That it'll be a good game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course, coming off a drubbing the Supercats handed out is the only way to really describe it. In our women's game earlier, 96-60 the final score there. So hopefully it's a bit of a closer contest, although I'm sure Leon O'Neill and his Chargers would be very happy if they could replicate the result from the previous game.
Yeah, most definitely. So at the moment, Geelong is sitting 12th on the ladder with a 1-to-2 win-loss ratio, and Eltham are also at a 1-to-2 win-loss, sitting at 14th. So it's looking like it could be a pretty even and good game. Eltham lost last week to Nunawading by 24 points. So it sounds similar to...
It's very similar. As we saw in that round 1 result, Geelong played against Nunawading here in their first round and were unsuccessful to the tune of 23. So if that's any indication, we should be looking forward to a pretty close tussle. But having said that, Geelong do welcome their point guard import, AJ Williams, for the first time this evening. So AJ, of course, had a broken hand to start the season and was unable to play in Geelong's first 3 games. But the Lincoln High School New York City project through Atlanta University, Clark Atlanta University, will be looking to make his impact. Those of you who have been lucky enough to meet AJ off the floor, he's a ripping bloke, and I know that historically the Geelong Supercats have always prided themselves on trying to get good guys as well as really good basketball players, and if his off-court personality and persona is anything to go by, they've got themselves a good one today because he's been brilliant in the community so far. What
I've been really impressed with AJ is seeing him on the bench in even the first round. He must have been bitterly disappointed to have that broken hand and not be there, but looking at him on the bench, he was up and about, getting around his teammates, and that's the kind of person that's going to create a really good culture around the club, and they're the kind of people that you want there. Not people who are going to be down on themselves for not being able to be sitting on the sidelines. So yeah, I'm really hoping that he has a great game tonight.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Look, you always want people in your program that are going to add positive energy rather than take energy away and be negative influences for whatever reason. As you said, he could have quite easily dropped his bundle and thought, oh, woe me, I've got a broken hand, I can't play my first game. But you know what? You're right, he was fabulous. He was engaging with the boys. He was watching every possession. He was invested in it. So hopefully that all bodes well for a really strong performance from AJ in his debut today. There's not much of him.
No.
He certainly might have copped a little bit of the Pacific shrink on the way over. He stepped off the plane a few inches shorter than was perhaps first advertised. But he's certainly quick from all reports. He's got a quick release on his jump shot. And he can get up too. He was just playing above the rim just then. And so it'd be interesting to see if he can come out and add to the Supercats and be able to get them above 50 or to 50%. As we mentioned earlier, both these teams 1 and 2. So Geelong will be really looking for a balance the ledger after today's event. I would certainly think if you're Coach O'Neill, you look through the schedule, you look at it, you've got Frankston, Knox and Nunawading to start the season. 3 traditional powerhouses. We know Frankston have not quite been as strong as they have, as strong in the previous seasons as they have been historically. And Knox, of course, coming from a few years outside of the previous Siebel competition. But 1 and 2, it's probably where he would have expected to be. I would certainly think that if he had it at 1 and 2, he's probably thinking that they're 2 and 2 coming into a game against another team coming up out of Big V Championship. So we'll have a look through some of the highlights for the Supercats statistically so far this season, and our leading scorer is DeMarcus Gutlin at 19.6 a game. He's really just picked it up from where he left off last season, Gat. His ability to get to the rim and also be not only just an offensive pest, but he's really good at being a defensive pest as well. He plays in the passing lanes.
Yeah, 1.6 steals per game.
Yeah, and him and actually Cohen Blythe has also had a really good impact from that end. Yeah, Cohen, the kid that's come across, the Geelong product that's come across from the Cryo-Bay Stingrays. Look, he's done some really good things defensively as well. He's quick, he uses his feet well on defence, so that's really, I think, helped Gap with AJ not being there, that he's been able to assist with that guard, and it's sort of freed Nick Owusu up. Nick's still going to be very good. He's going to get in the passing lanes. He's averaging 1.5 steals a game, but it means that he's not having to take that quickest guard or the import guard, and he's been able to, you know, just nurse himself through. Nick, of course, has missed a lot of basketball over the last 2 or 3 years as he's recovering from that crippling knee tendonitis that's saw him probably only play a quarter of the games over the last 3 or 4 years. So he's come back really strongly, and he'll be looking to build on that. Of course, the other focal point for Geelong so far this season has been Lewis Thomas. Lewis has been a real integral inside presence for the Supercats, and we saw in that first game against Nuttawading, he was quite happy to go toe-to-toe with their front line. They had some big boys in that team. As we know, Simon Collins about as big and as long as they get, and Lewis was certainly okay to go after it. So I think if AJ, DeMarcus, Lewis are able to, and Nick are able to influence the game. Marlowe's a terrific role player. He can pop up and give you 20. He can control the rebounding. He's even got a little bit of creative, as we saw from the NBL1 top 10 plays from last week with that little ShamWow move he did. So you never know what to expect when it's Marlowe on the floor. So look, I think it's probably a game Geelong would be quietly confident about. But of course, still battling some injuries. Lewis Thomas, was only having to complete a fitness test this morning after rolling his ankle in the NBA 1x1 Pro Hustle, 3x3, sorry, Pro Hustle. So he looks like he's come up okay. So there's currently just can't hear ourselves think at the moment because Mark Prunger's decided that he's going to tell everybody this side of the North Geelong road that we've got some score bench issues.
I think touching on Cohen Blythe, in the first game that I saw him play, it was more, I guess, a matter of circumstance that he got an opportunity, and he looked like he really took it with both hands, played with a lot of intensity, and as you mentioned, that takes his shoulders a little bit of that load that Wu or Nick Owusu would have perhaps had to have taken in the past. And then, yeah, Lewis Thomas, his athleticism is just out of this world. And he looked like he had a wide range of moves in the post. But
he's certainly got a nice little repertoire to go to there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He might be the oldest looking 28-year-old playing in the NBL1 at the moment, Lewis Thomas. Of course, let's have a look at the Eltham Wildcats, and the name that stands out there is their guard wearing the number 19, Adam Doyle, of course, playing for the Adelaide 36ers last season in the NBL1, where he averaged 3.1 points a game and 1.1 assists. So they'll be looking to him to sort of really lead that, show that leadership and some veteran nous and experience, and hopefully be able to take it right up to the Geelong Supercats today.
Well, Eltham have been playing in the former, or Big V.
Championship,
so this is a whole nother level. So yeah, like you said, we'll be looking at players of the likes of Adam to be able to step up.
Well, we've got another ripping name from the Eltham Wildcats that presented us today. Of course, in the women's game, we had Maggie Mulligan wearing the 00 for the Eltham Wildcats. And
top 5 names so far.
Well, top 5. Well, I see you, Maggie Mulligan, and I raise you to Grandy Glaze. Grandy Glaze wearing the number 4 for the Eltham Wildcats. He looks like he's got some tricks up his sleeve. He can certainly bounce. He's sitting in the short corner at the moment, just trying to get his 3-point range going.
That is an absolute ripper of
a name. 201 centimetre forward.
Wow. Not centre.
No, there's no such thing as centres.
Well, we've got a 215
Yeah, that's
centimetre.
Simon Bradbury, number 35, Simon Bradbury. He's a big, big boy. He was virtually hanging onto the rim to do his calf stretches earlier. So just under a minute till tip-off here at the Geelong Arena in the second of our double headers on this Easter Saturday. Fantastic crowd. We had a really great crowd here in time to see the women's game, as you would expect when you've got the calibre of talent that the Geelong Supercats women's team are able to put on the floor. Of course, if you have only just joined us, 96-60 was the final result in that women's game. The winner Geelong Supercats prevailing there.
Yep, a really impressive game by the Geelong Supercats women. They were just dominant across all parts of the floor. Really in that defensive part of the game too. They got into passing lanes.
Yeah, they did. It was a really dominant defensive effort to keep them to 60 and to score 96 themselves. Okay, 20 seconds to go here in the men's team. So, what are you thinking? What are you thinking here, Anna? Any expectations about this game? What would you like to see from Eltham? What did you like to see from Geelong?
I think both coaches will be looking at trying to get that to 2-2, or trying to get their record to 2-2, and by the looks of it, it's going to be pretty even.
Eltham Wildcats head coach Trevor Lee, and of course the Luwena Geelong Supercats coached by Leon O'Neill.
It's good to see AJ Williams.
Starting for Geelong, we will have AJ Williams,
Nick Scotland, Nick Owusu, Lewis Thomas, and Marlo Hicks. So good to see AJ Williams hitting the floor.
For Eltham, we see Justin Avar starting, Josh Sykes, Adam Doyle, Grandy Glaze, and Simon
Bradbury.
Do your calf stretches off the rim, Bradbury. All right, underway. Referees have the ball. We're waiting for the tip. As the crowd is expectantly awaiting the result. Interesting that old ring calf stretches isn't taking the jump.
They back Grandy Glaze's jump, and
well,
they should.
Grandy Glaze, why that you would back Grandy Glaze, because he just jumped out of bounds to rescue the ball after Josh Sykes won the jump ball.
Oh, sorry.
Straight away, Eltham into Bradbury, Josh Sykes.
Good defense.
I think Simon Bradbury just found out how hard Marlo Hicks is to move there. So nice touch there for a little mid-lane one-hand jumper, the big fella. So we're underway with the scoring. It's Eltham 2, Geelong yet to score.
Really disciplined offense there from the get-go.
It's very patient. AJ lets it rip. Oh, just coming up a little bit wide. Looks like he'll take this down though.
He is quick.
He is quick. DeMarcus will be appreciating just sitting out there and getting that ball to him like that, I would think. He's also not shy as he takes his second shot in a minute for the Geelong Supercats. More successful on this one, and we're underway with the career for AJ Williams in the NBL1.
He looks pumped and ready to go.
He does look real ready. Oh, good D there.
Great defense. So it looks like the men sort of have that similar type of plan, looking to get it inside and in and out type game. And Wu for the three. Great start there.
Good patience and discipline there by the Supercats. And looks like we've got a minute and a half in the...
Oh, the ref's just given the I see you. I see you, I'm watching you.
Just letting AJ Williams and Justin Avar know that he's not real happy with the introductions the two made to each other running down the floor just then. I don't think there was much in it. Did you see it?
Nah.
It was just
and
a little bit of a...
it's going to make for some entertaining.
G'day, mate.
basketball.
I'm AJ. How you going? And Justin said, I'm Justin. Let's go. So they've gone a double foul, have they? Yep.
Yeah.
The old, I'm not sure what's going on here. I'll give you both a foul. Oh, well, so much for our brilliant, accurate commentary that there was nothing in that. The referees decided that's a double foul.
Yeah, it was. Absolutely something in it.
Eltham get the ball. Away we go.
It's always exciting seeing DeMarcus streaming down the court
open
like that.
floor, down the middle. He, I think he had some little bit of hopes of putting Josh Sykes on a poster then. But Josh Sykes wasn't having any of it and said, if I'm not blocking it, you're not dunking it. And sends DeMarcus to the line. Interesting choice of footwear for Josh Sykes. Those of you that follow the kicks out there might notice that he's wearing Puma's new contribution to the basketball landscape, and they're different. Just a traditional
Are they
Nike
two
guy
different types
here,
of?
so.
Are
No,
they
that's the pair.
That's the pair.
That's the pair. That's how they come. So yeah, they look like those new Pumas that a few of the NBA players are rocking these days. Justin Ava lets it go from deep, but
got to get the box
Grandy
out there.
Glaze, as we mentioned earlier, they've got some bounce, the two imports for the Wildcats, and Grandy Glaze coming up with the offensive rebound, but AJ Williams trying to just reach in and says, I'll have that, thank you.
I think opponents might think it would be easy to post up AJ Williams, but he's got really quick feet and he looks to move around the post and managed to get that steal there.
Yeah, and then
so
a nice
feed. We
just saw a nice feed from DeMarcus on the baseline, finding Marlowe, who's able to lay it in and give Geelong a 2 to 10 lead. And then a good little impromptu double team there by Marlowe. He's almost getting away with the steal, but just off Geelong.
Could have been a foul there. But, oh!
Wow. Wanted to see some excitement early. We've got it.
Oh.
Great move, great finish. Good
Great
catch
take.
there by Josh
Yeah,
Sykes.
great catch.
But great find from Nikawusu on that break then to find DeMarcus with a pinpoint pass. And DeMarcus does the rest. DeMarcus attacks the ring again and Grandy Glaze picks up his first. We're battling each other here to say Grandy Glaze first.
It's just too fun.
It is fun. What do you reckon his nickname is?
Oh. I don't think he can change. I think it just has to...
GG?
Stick with Grandy Glaze. That's too good.
Yeah, Grandy Glaze is good. You see Supercat with a pair of bunny's ears trying to entertain the crowd in the time zone box. They're not really feeling it. And she moves on to the next one. So good start there for Geelong, 12 to 4. Coming out of the blocks, they've certainly shown their cards early. Geelong want to run. And they're happy to put the ball in AJ and DeMarcus's hands and Nick's hands and let them make the decisions. And if they want to play fast, they'll play fast. Pull it back. Let's get some structure. Let's look for Marlowe in the post, attack the rim. Marlowe just stepping into that dunker spot, picked up an easy one earlier. So, good start.
Yeah, Eltham looked dangerous early. They looked like they were going to try and get their ball in through hands, pull it out if they needed to, get the on-ball pick. Last few offensive sets have been a little bit mishmashed, so hopefully they can clean that up a little bit.
Well, Eltham, you mentioned that the last 4 offences for Eltham have been a bit mismatched. They've currently got 4 turnovers and they're just 4 steals from the Supercats, with Nikawusu with a steal, AJ Williams showing that speed already with 2, and Marlowe Hicks getting his hand on 1. So I think the issue for Eltham, as yet, they haven't been able to really reverse the ball. The ball stayed on one side, which is really easy for the defence to load up. So we'll see if after that timeout they're able to make some adjustments and see if they can get the ball seeing both sides of the floor. DeMarcus, he unfortunately misses the first free throw. He's only shooting at 60% from the line, and missing both of those not going to help that percentage go the right way. See a bit of full court pressure from the Supercats now, and DeMarcus almost gets the long pass.
Oh, great pass there by Sykes into a...
I'll let Marco get that one. Cats running their shirt play that they've run for quite some seasons under Coach O'Neill. Looking to get that ball through Marlowe at the top and use his big frame as a screen. Nice take by Lewis Thomas. And the big fella commits the foul there. So that's first on Simon Bradbury.
God, I thought you were saying Stephen Bradbury there.
No.
Simon.
No, the 9 fellas on the court haven't fallen over yet. If that happens, I will quite happily refer to him as Stephen Bradbury.
Yep, all right.
I did have a chat to Coach O'Neill during the week, and he was lamenting his side's inability to capitalise from the charity stripe, and he's not going to be happy with the start so far. Zipper 4 in the first 4 minutes for the Supercats from the charity stripe, and sees Eltham coming back down and putting them on the back foot. AJ Williams, third steal. He is quick.
Oh.
And
it really looks like Williams and Gatlin are quite in sync with each other. They yeah, they've got some good chemistry.
Certainly shown like that. Looks like they've got some good chemistry 4 minutes in. Williams streaming down the floor there and finding Gatlin in front, sneaking in the baseline and able to finish with a nice little reverse. Justin Ava with the 3, Hicks with the rebound, looking to surely put the ball in the guard's hands, but no.
He
you know,
handles
actually,
there.
Marlow can handle it. That was really good refereeing then, because so often you'll see the big guy who's trying to bring the ball down the floor get corporate charge in that situation.
That bigger body.
Yeah. And that's a flop.
That is a flop.
And I don't know how he managed to get up like the Indian rubber man, bounced off the ground, and was able to swat it against the backboard. But
that's Marlow Hicks for you, though. He'll be walking 1 second, and then the next second
hit you with that quick drop step, and all of a sudden you're blinking, wondering where he went. I've been on the receiving end of that way too many times for my own good. So let's see if Marlow can resurrect Geelong's free throw shooting percentage here. Bum, bum. As Leon O'Neill looked to the heavens on that miss. Just trying to figure out what he can do. I know he did have the boys running sprints after their misses and doing some slides and shuffles and all sorts of stuff.
And there we go.
And we're on the board from the foul line. So 15-6 Geelong lead here. 5 minutes to go in the first.
So Geelong's defense really active, looking to switch when they need to. Great hit there by, is that Ava?
Justin Ava, yep.
No, apologies. Doyle. Again, the ball's just staying on the one side of the floor.
Oh, nice. Might have been moving too quick for his own good then, I think, Lewis Thomas. Sort of in that horrible space you get in at times when you're moving quickly of do I dunk or do I lay it up?
You get into that position frequently?
I think, well, once or twice. But I was none the more wiser as what I was meant to do, though, when I got in that position.
But the pleasing thing there is he had teammates backing him up for the miss, and you don't ever expect your teammates to miss, but you've got to play that way. And DeMarcus is rewarded for that effort. Hopefully he can reward himself for that effort too.
I have been babbling on about how we were yet to make a free throw. Of course, DeMarcus hit 2 really early in the start of the quarter, so I did a bit of a disservice there, but he's only split those and got 1 of 2, so that sees Gat 3-6 from the line so far, and the Supercats 4-9.
He's 2 of 4.
I think there's a delay in the stats there.
Maybe. Oh.
Again, the ball doesn't see the other half of the floor, though. They're just lucky they've been able to get some offensive rebounds. He appears quite crafty, old Grandy. I think nice finish there by Lewis Thomas. Nice find from Nicolusa. I think DeMarcus was actually thinking maybe that ball might have been popped in front of the rim for him on that backdoor cut for another lob. But Nick made it's turned out to be the good decision. Finding Lewis Thomas with a nice finish. He'll go to the line to see if he can hit the traditional old-fashioned three-pointer. Had a good look.
Looking to push it. I wouldn't mind seeing that ball getting kicked around after that initial
the
burst for
first
transition.
real hard explore, push. If it's not on, kick it out.
Yeah.
Get a reversal, as we've said a couple of times already.
Oh.
Marlowe with the soft touch. Geez, it was refreshing then to see the Eltham player take the contact rather than flopping. I mean, you felt watching that live that if that Eltham player had have decided to just throw himself backwards, he probably would have got the call. But it's nice to see a player just, you know what, I'm not falling over for the sake of falling over. The contact wasn't sufficient. I'll stand up.
But kudos to the refs because
Absolutely,
they didn't call it earlier, so players are now knowing, all right, we won't get the
Lewis Thomas with the
foul.
mismatch here.
He's getting whacked in the head. Not happy.
They've done a really good job of identifying the mismatch there. Justin Aber coming in at 190 centimetres. Lewis Thomas, I would think, is a bit closer to the 200, so he's been able to get into that post. Nice deep catch. The rest of the team's done a good job of identifying that and getting in the ball.
So DeMarcus Gatlin and Marlo Hicks are getting a rest, and we've got Nathan Friend and Mark Goodwin coming in for their first minutes. Good to see them getting minutes early in the game.
Interestingly enough, Trevor Lee decides to leave Justin Aber out there with 3 fouls in the first 7 minutes of proceedings here. I don't know whether that's an indication of the lack of depth on their bench or just that he's got supreme trust in his player. Lewis Thomas knocks in the second. 24-9, Geelong lead Eltham. 3 minutes 23 to play.
Randy Glaze looks like he's really keen to just go one-on-one.
Fair enough.
That was a really lovely, great finish, and yep, fair enough.
Hey, so from what I've seen of Grandy, he looks like he's a predominantly left-handed player. He's looked to go left-handed, but he certainly had a real ability there to jump right, finish with a nice high-arcing right running hook. It was a really nice move, nice touch. I think he did say to Lewis Thomas after that, unlucky mate, I'm not sure if you fouled me then, but the two players, 21 and the 4 for Eltham, are having a bit of a giggle about it. Absolutely, you take it. So he's able to capitalise on the three-point play, bring Eltham to within 12. I thought Wu was trying to flatten out there against the Eltham defence then.
It's a good look. I trust Wu with that look.
Lewis Thomas, good work on the boards.
Hard
soft
working.
touch. He does work really hard, and he's rewarded there with the offensive rebound and then the soft touch.
And they're the kind of acts that really lift everyone, and when you see people doing all those hard effort, 1%er type things, it lifts the whole group.
Foul on Nick there, just a little bit too friendly with the Eltham player bringing the ball down the floor.
See there.
Well, he's definitely a right-hander. Threatens to go left off the dribble a lot, old Grandy, but then he just, oh, well, you're not going to come out and respect me. I'm just going to drop this on your head.
He's looking like he's trying to get his team on his back and get them back into this game.
Nice move there from Lewis Thomas, unable to get it to go though. Sees Dave Shafford go down the floor and nice little finish.
So it's when Supercats defence hasn't quite been able to set, but it seems that Eltham been able to get the score up.
Which is why I think we're lamenting the fact that from an Eltham point of view, they haven't been able to get that ball reversal in there. So Mark Goodwin coming up short there for Geelong, and Eltham. That's the gather step. That's the gather step.
Okay.
You're allowed to take that bouncing. Oh, God,
well done there by Bly. He's letting the Eltham bench know about it. Interesting shot there.
Yeah, he certainly made that in the first game. I think his threes have dried up a little bit since that game against Nunawading where he hit a couple, but
Supercats need to be careful here. You don't want to let Eltham into the second quarter with too much momentum. They seem to have just relaxed a little bit.
They had that nice, comfortable little buffer and looked like they were playing on top of Eltham, but
great ball movement there.
Yeah, it was.
We don't
so Eltham, unbelievably, with a chance to bring this to within 4. Long two.
It's going to kill you. I don't know if I want Lewis Thomas being the one shooting the 3, because if you look at the height of the rest of the blokes,
he's certainly their only offensive presence. Well, Mark Goodwin would probably back himself
Yeah, it's
in
those.
there. Just snatched the ball out of Friendy's hands there. Oh, good find though, and unfortunately, Thomas unable to reel it in. It's the Eltham ball for the last shot of the game. 13.4 seconds to go, 26-19, Luina Supercats lead.
They might look at Doyle to be perhaps
A bit more assertive like that.
Yeah.
Just couldn't get it to drop on a nice. Interesting that the key was pretty wide open there for Doyle as he got round and turned the corner.
Oh, it was a great take, and yeah, I think it was certainly there for him.
Absolutely. Well, that's the end of the first quarter.
Right.
26-19. Luina Geelong Supercats leading Eltham Wildcats here. The second game of our double header on Easter Saturday at the Geelong Arena. What did you take out of that first quarter there, Anna?
I think Geelong are playing, it's similar to the girls, like they're playing quite unselfishly and looking to get that pass to the person that's running ahead in transition, but knowing when to pull it out. Early on, I really liked Eltham's ability to pull it out and if they needed to, and then either get the on ball or get the ball moving. The ball stuck a little bit in the last 5 minutes of that quarter for Eltham, so I wouldn't mind them seeing, getting a bit more ball movement. And they were looking to also go in and out, utilising Bradbury and utilising Sykes in the inside there. So, and they shied away from that too. So, yeah, I think they need to utilise them a bit more.
Yeah, I think Josh Sykes just found himself on the wrong end of some calls there. He was certainly very frustrated when he went to the bench, so with a couple of quick early fouls. But look, I think there's a noticeable difference in the pace of play from the Geelong Supercats when AJ and DeMarcus both sat.
Yep.
They were certainly looking to really push that ball up and down the floor, and were able to get on the rim, get dunks, get layups, put pressure on the defenders for Eltham, and we saw Justin Ava picking up 3 fouls in that quarter, Josh Sykes picking up 2 in about 5 minutes. So once those two guys went to the bench for the Supercats, it was certainly noticeable that Eltham looked a lot more comfortable out there when they weren't on that back foot. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach O'Neill does here. It looks like he's going to give Nick Owusu a rest. Colin Bly also looks like he'll be having a rest. And DeMarcus makes his way back in, along with Josh Tang from the looks of it, Nathan Fred, I know Colin Bly will play, and Marlo Hicks starting for Geelong. And for the Wildcats, we've got Sam Whelan, Grandy Glaze, Adam Doyle, and 31, which is Mitch Lee out there for the Wildcats. Tang with the ball now, starting us off in the second. On-ball screen. Supercats do like to use Marlo in that on-ball. The help comes, frees up that 45 lift shooter. Grandy Glaze with another rebound.
Whelan's body positioning on that rebound was really good. He didn't let DeMarcus Gatlin, he didn't give him any chance of getting to the O-boards.
And let the bigger body Grandy Glaze come up with it. Oh,
came off the wrong part of his hand.
Slipped out by the looks of it on the little
how
run
free
there.
He was. Good defence there by Hicks. He didn't fall for any of the fakes. He just stayed centre. Just got a hand to the shot, affected the shot. And do this set plays for Gatlin for the mismatch.
A bit of a dirk there by DeMarcus, just propping on one leg and dirking it. Able to knock it in for the nice feathery touch from the mid-range there. 28-19, Supercats leading. Couple of dribble handoffs there, so that's the first time we've seen a double dribble handoff. The double shakes up top there, and then it finds Grandy Glaze in a really good deep position there, and he's able to just go off the glass for a nice little soft two.
Geelong's defence was really packing it in there too, so Grandy Glaze had options. He could have he went to the rack as he chose to, but he had options all around the perimeter as well.
Grandy Glaze comes up with a rebound. His 9th, I reckon. Just a lazy 12 and 9 in 12 minutes of play for Grandy Glaze. Good on you, GG. Solid start. Nice take there. Couple of quick fakes. Not sure Sam Whelan's too happy with the call, claiming that DeMarcus might have used his elbow there to clear some space, but referees don't agree with that, and Gat's on the line again.
Maybe he did, maybe he didn't.
I think he put his hand in the cookie jar. DeMarcus just said, "Get that hand out of there, young man. That's my cookie."
Yeah, he isn't eating that cookie though, he hasn't made it.
Didn't make that one. There we go. Bottom of the net that time for DeMarcus. Granny Glaze takes a rest. No. Adam Doyle having a rest here, replaced by Ovi McBeggar. Older brother of Ezzy, I'm assuming.
Really simple way of getting out of that press there. Get the ball to the middle, pass out of it, and they had no issues with getting out of it. Oh.
Thought Marlow actually did a good job of being able to contest that. I thought Ovi McBeggar had beaten him on the baseline and might have been able to just turn the corner there and maybe get upstairs and put one down on Marlow, but he was able to get there. Blocked the shot, however, committed the foul according to the referee. So let's see Ovi straight off the bench, straight to the foul line, making an instant impact. Misses the first. Second, a good rebound, batted it to himself off the backboard by Marlow. Sees Josh Tang on the attack and Friendy going hard to the rim for a layup. Really good 4-second offense there from the Supercats. Marlow Hicks did a great job of batting that to himself, turning, grabbing the rebound, snatching it, a couple of quick dribbles, outlet pass and away.
That's the beauty of having someone like Marlow who has those handles. He's not looking to pass straight away. I mean, you want to be looking to pass to your guards, but if you can burst out of the defensive end and take a couple of quick dribbles, it really puts the opposition under stress.
Good job there by Colin Bly, rejecting the shot there from Sam Whelan, I think, and Sam Whelan in frustration just grabbed Connor on the way through. AJ returning for the Supercats. Josh Tang taking a break. Nice find there.
Great relocation there by AJ Williams on the perimeter, moving from the 45 down to the baseline. Great look. The rotation was there from Nathan Friend, but unfortunately he couldn't quite size up to Bradbury.
Nice little soft touch there from the big fella.
Yeah.
It's the second time he's just gone to that little one-handed soft touch finish.
It's a risky pass by Gatlin.
Marlow crossing over the big fella. Don't do him like that, Arlo. Great hustle there from Nathan Friend. Gets the ball to DeMarcus Cousins, who comes up with a layup and a quick turnover and score there for the Supercats. Sam Whelan's not impressed with the attention he's getting on the defensive end from the Geelong team.
Admittedly, there could have been, that's a bit Simon Conn-like, that shot.
Just an inch or two taller.
Yep.
Not a sentence you hear very often.
No.
Nice find from DeMarcus to Marlow. Just couldn't quite finish that there, Marlow.
Oh.
Well, we almost had a Stephen Bradbury moment. 3 of the players hit the floor. Not quite the 9.
And great finish there.
After getting out to a 13-point lead, Eltham Wildcats have managed to reel it in. It's back to 7 with 5 minutes 30 seconds to play here in the second. Geelong 35, Eltham 28. Substitution for Geelong. Michael Rabula seeing the court for the first time this evening. Connor Blythe coming off. And the referee just saying to young Sam Whelan, "Hey mate, enough.
let me do my job and you do yours.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm not sure Trevor Lee was understanding of that conversation, so the ref just said to Trevor Lee, this is exactly what I've said, and I'm telling you now. Oh, nice. Nice take there by DeMarcus, and an up and under. So pretty little reverse move.
That action on the weak side really dragged the defence, and they forgot to, Supercats caught them off guard and didn't have that split there.
But we mentioned in the women's game, Lewis Thomas did a really good job there of setting the screen with a purpose. So it draws the defence. Instinctively, if a guy sprints to set the screen, the defence has to react and react quickly.
Yeah.
And we saw that then. Lewis came and set a high side screen on ball, sprinted into the position, draw the defence up high. DeMarcus goes away from the screen, he's able to get on the rim before the defence can prevent him, and he finishes with a nice up and under move.
I reckon he overcomplicated that too. I reckon
just
he
dunk
just
it,
gone with
throw it down.
I was just going to say a left-hand layup.
Nah, you're that athletic, throw it down.
Ooh. So we've got Louis Varley on for his first minutes. The pace significantly increases when Williams is on.
Well, Louis Varley's not slow. Louis Varley was in the sprint down the left-hand wing then. AJ Williams was given up 3 metres to Louis with the ball and got to the foul line 3 metres in front of Louis. Louis might just want to note that. You're not getting the ball from AJ if you're not in front of him. He's quick and able to capitalise at the free throw line this time. Anthony Williams, career 100% in the NBL1, 2 from 2. Leon O'Neill will be very happy if that continues. I'm not sure if those Pumas are doing a great job for Josh Sykes out there. He slipped over, looks to have lost his footing a couple of times, but he was able to reel it back in and finish there nicely with the left.
It was, a strong finish. He had defence all over him.
Nice. Good strong take there by DeMarcus, but just not able to finish there. Great job by Geelong getting back. However, the ball's landed in Josh Sykes' hands, and he's just used the bounce in those Pumas to go up and throw it down.
Oh, that was a bit lazy.
Shoot it, Rebs. Louis Varley doing a really good job there, battling 1-on-4. Got one offensive rebound, out to Mike Rebula. Unable to knock it down, and then almost got the second. Good D there by Lewis Thomas.
Thomas's defense has been fantastic.
He's pretty happy with himself too.
He just stays in front of his opponent so well. Like he's
slides
use of his feet
really well.
Yeah. Doesn't reach. Just
hand straight up.
Yep.
Full chest.
And he's pretty wide too, so I guess that would help.
It is a full chest.
Turn around.
Very composed and comfortable there. Lewis Thomas. Oh, got him. Did a good job there.
Pulling it out there.
Pulling it out, yep. Lewis Thomas, another rebound. He's 4th for the game. DeMarcus, nice little take.
I thought Sykes had him there.
I thought Sykes is very tall and long, and I thought he might have just been able to impact that shot, but DeMarcus did a good job using his left and jumping away from the defender.
Just getting a bit of hang time. Don't know about Sykes' outside game.
Oh,
come on, Reb.
This will bring the house down. Fantastic sequence of passes there from the Loina Geelong Supercats. Sees AJ Williams getting the ball all by himself in front of Leon O'Neill on the Supercats bench there. Just turned around to coach and said, "Should I shoot a coach?" And coach gave him a little nod and a wink. Had a look at the ball.
His blessing.
Got it lined up and hit nothing but the bottom of the net. So
within the space of 3 seconds, 4 Supercats players touched the ball in that offense. in the three.
Yep.
Within the three-pointer.
Yep. No, it was a nice little bit of play there by the Geelong Supercats, getting them back out to a 14-point lead. And that's probably, as an observer of the game, you probably feel that's where it sits. That sort of 14-15 mark. Geelong have been probably 15 points better than Eltham so far.
Just that little bit more polished. And doing things like you mentioned with Lewis Thomas's screen, doing things with intensity and intent. And
bit of urgency.
Yeah.
Intent. Yep. If I was Coach Lee, I'd probably try to be getting GG back in the game here.
Yes, he's getting the numbers up, but I think he needs to try and start bringing his teammates into the game a little more, just in terms of getting the passes around. He's looking for that one-on-one, which I like, but perhaps drawing the defenders and then handing off or passing off.
I'm going to disagree with you. I think he's done a good job. I think he's looked for the one-on-one initially, and if it's not there, he's made a really quick pass. It might just be that he's made the pass before the pass, which won't reflect on the stats. He's making the hockey passes as you point to his assist column, not listening to what I'm saying.
Sorry.
Oh, the big fella just couldn't reel that in after the dribble, and DeMarcus somehow at 5'11". No, probably a bit taller than that, isn't he, DeMarcus? But
does he break 6 foot?
Well, if Simon Bradbury's 2'15", that's 7'11". 7'1" in the old scale. He's probably a foot taller than DeMarcus, and DeMarcus was able to worry him out of that.
Louis Varley, that's his
sneakiness.
Sneakiness.
Yeah. Great to play with, horrible to play against.
Yep.
One of those guys. Just waiting to pick the pocket of the big fella as soon as he reels a real rebound in. Knows that he can't compete at that height, but very happy to just try and wait till he brings the ball down and try and rip it out of his hands. Good pressure there from Geelong. Quick double team at the mid-court, and Reb says, I'm not having any piece of that. I'll stop, compose myself, hope that he's not going to block me and throw it up there. And he does, and it goes in. Well done, Rebs.
Eltham just need to get someone to the middle, pass it through that half-court press.
Which they did earlier.
Yeah.
They did a really good job, made the Geelong press just fall straight back.
Yep.
Interesting there that Dawes set the up pick on Grandy Glaze when Glaze was matched up by Louis Varley. I would have been scooting out of there and letting GG have the one-on-one, but
Sykes proved me wrong there. It was a nice finish.
It did, yeah.
On the outside.
Much more controlled than that.
Yeah.
Maybe his first one, he's a little bit rushed, and we'll give him the benefit of the doubt that that's certainly his range. Speaking of range, Lewis Thomas not going to die wondering from outside. They're out here.
Great work pushing that there. It was a 3-on-1, 3-on-2.
Probably went the anti-crowd finish. Not finding Sykes on the right wing, but they managed to find a score nonetheless as DeMarcus comes back down and scores against the big fella.
Just take a minute to appreciate. Oh!
Sweet Christmas.
Oh.
Josh Sykes just tried to put the whole Supercats program on a poster.
I was about to say, let's take a minute to appreciate DeMarcus Gatlin's athleticism, and then Josh Sykes just jumped from the free throw line. That would have...
Maybe I've got to get myself a pair of them Pumas. They got some bounce. Wow. Okay, 14 seconds to go. We'll try and compose ourselves here. 10 seconds to go. Eltham with the ball. On ball. And DeMarcus on that athleticism. Let's see how quick AJ is. 4 seconds to go at half court. Will he get on the rim or throws up a prayer? So I would really have liked to have seen a guy that quick use his speed, put real pressure on that defense at the back end. Go and get yourself to the line. The refs are going to call it. They've shown they're going to call it when you're attacking the rim.
Yep.
But having said that, a 3 on the buzzer does do a real lot to lift your team as you walk into half-time.
It does.
It's a real dagger for the opposition when you're already down 16. So, okay, we'll let him get away with it. It's his first game. I'll have a chat to him after it, just see what was going for his
You'll straighten him out?
I'll straighten him out. There we are, folks. Half-time in Game 2. Lewina Geelong Supercats 52, leading the Eltham Wildcats 36. We're going to figure out what's going on in the middle of the court at the moment. Should be the time zone shootout, but at the moment, Clark Kent's whizzed in after singing the national anthem and got into the phone booth and come out as Superman. So I'm not sure they've got too much to say. We'll see you in 10. And welcome back here to the Geelong Arena for the second half of the second game in our doubleheader this evening. Sees the Luina Geelong Supercats 52 leading the Eltham Wildcats 36. With me again is Anna Teague. And Teague, what are your takes on that first half there from the two teams?
I think it's a bit similar to the previous match where it just looks like one team is just slightly more polished and slightly more intense. And doing things with intensity. So that being the Supercats, I feel like their defensive pressure and their ability to be patient on the offensive end has been what's done it for them. What do you reckon? What do you reckon the Wildcats need to do now to try and get back and peg back this 16-point deficit?
I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think from an Eltham point of view, they're really going to have to just lift their intensity. It feels like they're just... I don't know, I hate to accuse teams of being in second gear, but it looks like they're not quite as sharp as the Supercats. So whether they're not used to being on the same floor together, or maybe the majority of the players coming from Champ, Big V, just quite used to the level of intensity that lifts when you come to NBL1. But I think just doing things with a purpose and a sense of urgency. We talked about earlier how Lewis Thomas set that on-ball pick with a real desire to set the pick. And it just sucked the defence high, and DeMarcus was able to take advantage of that and go baseline drive, go to finish a nice play. So you'd like to see, especially with the athletes that this Wildcats unit have got out there, imagine if that's a Josh Sykes on the wing getting a one bounce at the rim. I mean, the crowd's going to be real happy seeing that sort of stuff. So if Eltham are able to replicate that, we've spoken about it as well, getting the ball reversed. The ball seems to stick. It's a sticky ball. I know you were critical of GG earlier. You thought maybe that you think he should be trying to get his teammates involved. And look, if I could be critical of the game, probably the ball has stuck in his hands a lot. Whilst I think he has passed it, he probably has taken too long to figure out whether he's got the go first. So perhaps maybe real quick assessment from the guys on the wings. Can I go? Can I get at the rim? No. Have I got my shot? No. Okay. Pass the ball.
Yep.
Go and set a screen, cut. Keep moving once you get rid of the ball and force the defence to react to you, even if you're the furthest player from the ball, and keep the defence engaged so that guys with the ball are able to operate on the other side.
So, like you said, with a team coming from Big V Champ, playing against a team that's played previously Siebel, there are going to be differentials. There are. I mean, and they're going to be learning curves for them. But there are non-negotiables as well, like effort. And like you said, I don't want to say that someone's not trying. But I think, there are things that you can control, and Eltham need to really focus on what they can control, and just let the learnings come week by week. But in the meantime, they need to be thinking about what they can control within the game.
Absolutely, very succinct summary there. I think, look, and let's maybe perhaps cut Eltham some slack. It's certainly, having played in Big V and watched Big V Champ closely and played in Siebel, and that was when the game wasn't as quick as it is now, there is a big step up.
And with AJ Williams being injected into the Supercat side,
that's goes
an unknown.
Up again. Yeah.
Like, that was a real unknown for Eltham, and they didn't. I mean, who's to know the speed that he's being able to bring? Like, people say, yes, he can bring speed, but wow, the speed he has brought.
Yeah. It's speed with a purpose. We're talking about purpose and effort, and his speed, he's using it to real great effect, because he's trying to get on the rim, he's trying to score, he's trying to get his teammates involved, he's using that pace to be able to put the defence on the back foot. So we'll see what Eltham have to pull out of their bag of tricks to see if they can conjure anything up and eat into this 16-point lead.
No worries.
So back to the same five, I think, for both teams. Adam Doyle, Grandy Glaze, Simon Bradbury, Dave Shafford, and we're away, Eltham ball. GG, quick step baseline, and then a bit of that Dirk little 1-foot finish.
Unselfish
AJ
play.
with the speed, DeMarcus with the unselfish, give it back to him, boy,
Touch
and
pass.
away we go. I would not want to be a guard coming up against this tandem here.
All right, Eltham look like they're being patient.
Running that double shake set up the top.
Nice.
Adam Dorr gets a good look, good patience.
It did stay near the top of the key, but
the players moved.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Even though the ball didn't see that reversal, the players were moving across the side. You see DeMarcus, Josh Sykes says, nobody. Not having that. I'm going to jump up in my Pumas, even though they're bright and alternately coloured.
I reckon he might have took 6 steps there, but nice finish.
He is 215 centimetres. 1 step is probably the equivalent to 3, so there's his couple and he's good. There's not many blokes that I've seen on a basketball court make Marlo Hicks look short, and he's doing it easily. Good patience there from the Supercats. Draws a double team. DeMarcus can't get the 3 to go. Dave Shaffett with the defensive rebound and looks to push. So this is the first real sign of intent from Eltham to push it back down Geelong's throat.
Yeah, and I liked his thinking there. Perhaps didn't execute as cleanly as what he would have hoped, but you know, put the Supercats defense under pressure.
So Geelong ball in the hands of AJ Williams, bringing the ball up the floor. Supercats leading 54-40. Back kick here for Lewis Thomas. No, Nick decided he wasn't going to set it.
Nick Owusu hasn't touched the ball these last 2 plays, but he has not stopped moving. And they're the kind of selfless acts that are really good, and great to have someone being prepared to do those sacrificial acts.
Play the role.
Yeah.
Another soft touch there, that one. Yeah.
A little bit unorthodox.
It's ungainly, yeah, absolutely, but it's effective. It's not flat. It's got a nice arc.
No, it's got a nice arc, yep.
You notice that last offence from Geelong, that Lewis Thomas really rushed that last post move after Josh Sykes, I think, started to worry a few of the boys in there with his length and his athleticism.
He's getting himself into really good defensive positions.
There's that frustration foul where you get the ball stolen from a little guy and you think you can, but you just can't. You're not quick enough, and unfortunately you end up fouling. It must be a coach's bane, but I can tell you, having been in that situation many times, you think you can do it. You actually think you can do it in that situation, but
yeah, unfortunately, it's probably more the adrenaline.
Yeah, absolutely. And the frustration that turning the ball over. You're trying to make amends immediately rather than being patient enough. But telling you, them Pumas are slippery. Pumas.
They got the springs, but not the
certainly
not
got the springs.
friction.
AJ Williams has got kicks of the game on, I think, with the AJ. Wearing the AJ 13s in the white and red.
The AJ 13s?
Air Jordans.
Oh, Air Jordans.
First rodeo. You know enough about kicks to have known that.
Great vision there.
Boom, shakalaka. DeMarcus with the throwdown after a good defensive set there from the Supercats. See that lead out to 59-42. Luina Geelong Supercats up by 17. 6:35 to go in the third.
Eltham need to they did really well to try and get back within 12 points. They just need to try and ride this wave of momentum.
Yeah, the games are ebb and flows.
Yeah.
Most games, the teams will have their moments.
And
AJ,
see, that's just
fourth,
a bit of a...
fifth, sixth, steal.
And
DeMarcus, deja vu, 2 feet, jam.
AJ Williams,
I don't think those stats are just updated quite yet, because I reckon he's probably got 5, I'm going to go with. And almost a block to add to it. If he gets a good close out there on Dave Shaffett's attempted 3. Thomas, quick spin move out of the paint and drawing the foul there from Simon Ramsey. He had no choice but to just hack down to prevent that easy reverse layup.
Live stats are saying he's only got 3 steals and 1 assist.
So it's not the big guys that get a hard rub when it comes to steals and assists either, is it? Even the little guy gets a bad go.
How's that chip on the odd shoulder going?
Chip, I'm hungry. Where's the chip? First one's good for Lewis Thomas from the free throw line. Pretty sure I just said free throw line then. Oh, that was a free throw. Wants it against the big fella.
But that's that effort element.
Yeah, certainly. Yep. He demands it back. Forces the defence to react.
Oh,
and
what
nice
soft
little
touch.
quick jump hook,
Yeah.
soft touch. Found himself outside the key with a 7-foot monster in front of him and just says, I've got this over you, buddy.
And Sykes just
Oh.
broke
Oh.
Blythe's
Oh.
ankles.
He might have also carried. Much better there from Gigi. Not sticky hands. Had a quick look, nothing on. Got a quick reversal. Ended up that Josh Sykes had a really good look in the short corner, but just wasn't able to capitalise. Good catch. Oh no. Like him. AJ unable to connect then on the 3. GG picking up his 13th rebound. Unfortunately for the Wildcats, they need him to impact the scoreboard as well. He hasn't been able to score. I think he had 12 in the first quarter from memory, and he's still sitting on 12. Comes up short there. Oh dear. AJ dancing with the ball. Finds Wusu. Nothing but the bottom of the net for the veteran Nick Owusu wearing the number 9. The skipper. In the floral Kyries, I reckon, Nick. I'm not sure about that choice, but whatever floats your boat. Good defensive set there from the Supercats. Seeing great GG come up short again. And the Supercats looking to capitalise and perhaps get this out to a... Oh, that's a push in the back, mate. Yeah, and the ref that probably didn't have the best view of that, although he did have the view I had, so maybe that was the best view in the house. Agrees with me and says, Adam Doyle, you just pushed him in the back, and that's a foul, mate. As the big fella, Simon Ramsey, along with Josh Sykes, have a sit.
Mark Goodwin comes on for Supercats and gives Hicks a spell.
Again, Lewis Thomas really aggressive in his want to try and get himself in a position to be able to catch the ball and force the defence to take notice. You could see that it just felt like all of Eltham, their heads were swivelling. As soon as he caught the ball, they're thinking, they're indecisive. Do I go? Do I help? What do I do here?
Yep. And whilst that is happening, Supercats Lewis's teammates are moving constantly, being quite proactive. It's a defense's worst nightmare. What I really liked about the Supercats on-ball defence, they're really negating what Eltham are trying to do, and the ball handling defender, is really is almost hurting the ball handler towards the screen, and the screener's defender is standing high on the top hip of the screener. Am I making any sense to you right now?
You're making perfect sense. I'm sure you're making perfect sense, but I'm paying zero attention because the Supercats are just running with the Simba cam, which has got me absolutely enthralled.
All right. I'll
So for those
stop
of you
commenting on the...
Forget about the basketball for 2 seconds and we have a giggle at the people holding their
children,
girlfriends, boyfriends,
and adults.
kids up, replicating the old that famous scene out of The Lion King. I'm going to have that chant in my head for the rest of the game, so apologies if I burst into it at any moment to our viewers. All right, back on track. Supercats ball, baseline.
Back to basketball.
Once again, Lewis Thomas finds the ball in the post. Really strong move, soft
Cradled
touch,
it,
right hook. Cradled it, as you said, and able to finish that nice little soft. Drew through defenders, but still good enough to finish.
He just is able to move through the contact.
Oh, nice pass.
Yeah, really great pass, good finish.
Pass by Obi
Thomas is really able to move through that contact and work through it.
Yeah, you're right. It's a move through it. He doesn't look like he's banging or it's taking. It's a really effortless. I'm sure there's a great deal of effort going into it, but it looks really effortless. He just glides past the defender. Long two.
It looks good when you make it.
It does look good when you make it.
Not my favourite look though.
As we've mentioned a couple of times already on the broadcast,
Yes,
certainly
apologies.
far from the analytical hoopsters will be saying that is a horrible shot.
Oh.
There we go. GG now must have hurt us, Anna. Had the last 2 buckets for the Eltham Wildcats and taken him to 16 points and 13 rebounds.
decent defence there.
Yeah,
He stayed in
I
front.
reckon he's probably got a fair right to look a bit perplexed there.
I think Thomas almost slid into a
Maybe he's got them Pumas on,
Grandy Glaze.
slipping and sliding out there. Big cats aren't meant for slippery floorboards, obviously. Thomas knocks that one down. And the second one, so it takes him to 5 and 9, so he's got his clip above 50 after a pretty ordinary start from the free throw line for Lewis. Sees Geelong out by 27 points now. 2 minutes 43 to play in the third here as GG reels a errant pass in.
It's good scramble
Good skip,
defence
good
there.
Yeah, good scramble defence. Good D by AJ.
Yeah.
Just stayed in front and he's off.
How did he do that?
Just is quick. He doesn't stop moving either. Like you see him give the ball up there and he's sprinting back to try and relocate.
He's
Nice
showing off
finish,
his
Wu.
nice silkiness there.
It was a nice take. The post player in me was looking for the post into Lewis, who'd done a really good job of demanding the ball, but Nick saw the opening in the middle and took it and able to finish, and he'll go to the stripe to see if he can end the N1.
Who makes it a 3-point play. Tell you what, the music is a little bit questionable.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a while. There's a lot of things that we do very well in the Geelong Arena, but playing Cotton Eye Joe is not one of them. Unfortunately, I think it might be someone who's got something to do with the game night program quite enjoys this track.
Cohen Bly rotated really well on defence there, and Red anticipated where that pass was going.
He did a good
It's a
job.
sign it's a great sign that you're all connected when you've got people who are able to anticipate that kind of pass, and it makes it all predictable to each other. And AJ Williams makes the second. We've got Justin Ava coming on now. Minute and a half to go in the third quarter. And Eltham look like they're trying to get the ball through hands. A good offense they are. So
you've gotta
high,
go to
low,
work here,
right,
GG.
left.
Quick double comes from AJ. Pass wasn't quite flat enough to be able to let the...
They really deserve that score there.
Yeah,
that was
they
a
did.
really
Yeah.
nice, patient offense.
Mark Goodwin. Oh, Wusu!
Oi, Woo! How did Woo get up?
Not sure he actually got that.
Was it an
Looked
own goal?
like he high-fived GG who knocked it in. Probably saying, good name, mate. Give me a high five. Oh, he's through here. Runs
He
into his
just
own
bully
teammate.
balled his way
Bully
through.
balled his way through the captain, Adam Doyle, there. AJ looks real balanced on that shot. Did he just do a Steph Curry celebration?
He did.
I'm going to have word to him. Can't be having that rubbish.
I'll tell you what, an impressive performance from Williams.
On debut.
20 points.
5 rebounds, 4 steals, 4 assists. And really being able to control the pace of the game. I think that's what I've liked the most. And I'm sure Coach O'Neill will be thinking, thank goodness we've got this guy back. Because they look a different team when he's on the floor. It's a whole new dynamic, and it's arguably a dynamic Geelong hasn't had for quite some time. Historically in the Seabold, Eric Gaff has been an import. They had
big imports.
Yeah, so
forward.
Because we've relied on Nick Owusu, who's been that pace and that ability to control the game and dictate the pace. But unfortunately for Nick, his speedier years are now behind him, and they were consumed by injuries later on. So for Leon to be able to go to a guy like AJ and say, go out there and we're playing NBA Jam, he's on fire pace.
But it's not uncontrollable either.
It's certainly
it's
not
so
uncontrollable.
Controlled.
It's very controlled. I mean, he just dribbled at what looked like full power into that wing three-pointer, but it looked smooth, it looked composed, balanced, and the end result was nothing but the bottom of the net.
And it's very fast-paced, but it's not unpredictable. His teammates
know what he's doing. Yeah, absolutely.
Knowing where to move and where to be.
And he maintains his perfect career NBL1 shooting from the free throw line. 5 of 5, I think now. I probably jinxed him. Yes. The old commentator's jinx.
Him.
Oh dear.
He's not happy with himself there. I think that he's got some high expectations.
Perfect.
Whelan with the 3 at the...
On the buzzer, pretty much.
Nice.
It's a nice way for Eltham. Pretty much the only shining light they can take out of that quarter, and the fact that old Grandy Guys, he's got 16 and 16-point double-double. But not much apart from that you can take out of this game if you're the Eltham Wildcats. 33 points down at three-quarter time here against the Luina Geelong Supercats. And yeah, I'm not quite sure. We're in that same stage we're at in the women's game where it's just about effort and application and showing that you actually care about the result and what you're doing out there and taking some pride in the result.
So we saw, and very similar to the women's, we saw glimpses of people like Josh Sykes. He was really imposing himself early in that quarter, defensively and offensively, and looked like he was ready to try and give a spark to his team. Yeah, look, Grandy Glaze gave it a crack. But no, it was I think it's just a matter of keeping your pride intact and thinking about.
As you said, you've got to try and lay a foundation to move onto the next game or the next training session, and at least have some positives that you can take from this. I guess, look, there'll probably be Adam Dorr. They're probably hoping to have got a bit more from. He just hasn't been able to find his range. 3 of 11 from the field, 1 of 4 from downtown. Shooting the ball 27%.
Ava is only 1 of 6.
Yeah.
On a positive note, Sykes is 50% from the field, 5 of 10.
I'd like to see Sykes be able to impose himself a bit more on the glass. You'd think with a guy that's got his athleticism and length.
Those hops.
16 minutes, I'd be bitterly disappointed as his coach that he's only got 4 rebounds. Go and get yourself a couple of offensive glass. Go and get yourself a couple of putback dunks. You know, like start getting a feel for this and start showing your teammates, hey, this is what I'm here for. I can give you this throughout the year. You know, I've got you. Jump on me. Here we go.
From both him and Bradbury. Bradbury's only got 2. So, yeah, you
whoa. Huh?
He's only got 2 rebounds, so I think you need to be...
The 7'1" guy's got 2 rebounds.
Yep.
Great job, Geelong. I mean, for him to have only got 2 rebounds. Having said that, though, he does have GG snatching them up defensively for him. So
no, that's true. Like, he's doing some of the hard work, the boxing out, getting the bodies. Yeah,
taking the best rebounder from Geelong out of the picture.
That's the team-first attitude that your teammates really do appreciate.
Yep.
It's Louis Valley's game.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say, DeMarcus with a good, strong putback attempt there. Looked like he got fouled, and the referee on the baseline agrees with me. DeMarcus will go to the line again to shoot his, I would think, 10th and 11th free throw. 9th and 10th free throw. No, the referee doesn't agree that it was a putback. He was just offensive rebounding. Well, not for the first time. I'll just agree to disagree with the referees there. Geelong tried to give it up. Did give it up. Eltham gave it straight back, and Louis Varley zips his way through with a frap doodle. How you doing to the rim?
Daisy up
and then he
under.
gets the steal, and the ultimate dagger play. Inbound, steal the ball, step back, corner 3. How you going, Eltham? You feeling good over there?
Yeah, that was That hurts.
Yeah, that is no good.
But
Adam Dorr comes down and responds with a deep 2. Foot on the line, I think, there. He probably was thinking that was a 3.
that's a shot Nathan Friend can make.
I mean,
Yep. That's why
he's a great character guy. He's in the leadership group. He's one of those awesome guys to have around the team. Everybody loves him. He's a glue guy. That's one of his jobs. His other one is to knock down that open 3.
Yep.
You get the opportunity, you got to make it. And look, Nathan would be the first one to put his hand up and say, I've got to make that.
Great hands there.
Well, that's good hands from Mark Goodwin.
Being with Bradbury being the height he is, he's just got to keep that ball nice and high.
Pivot, get your elbows out, spin, quick spin. Goodwin gets himself a jump shot from the elbow there. Go with his defensive play. Good to get the reward after coming up with a good stop, be able to knock that jump shot in for a young fella.
A bit of confusion for defence there. We had 2 blokes staying with Bradbury in the key and with 1 bloke coming out the weak side baseline. And then the scramble just didn't quite work.
Simon
Second
Bradbury.
efforts there.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. Simon Bradbury to the line for the and 1. I think the ref was saying he got slapped in the face by either Louis or Rebs.
Probably did.
Must have good hops, those kids, to be able to slap him in the face. It's a long way up. Good spot by Reds to own the ball, engage the defence, kick it out.
And he is not an inside player.
No,
so
but it's just good positioning on the inside seam of that high post.
Good take there by Doyle. Just attacking transition.
This is what I felt we should have seen earlier from Eltham. Just get out and try and run and put Geelong on the back foot rather than them have dictate the pace as they've seemed to have done the whole time, especially with AJ on the floor.
Do you think it's been a matter of Geelong intimidating or what do you think?
Maybe just
experience.
Just experience, maybe.
Yep.
But it's not. I mean, they've had the same amount of defensive rebounds each. Both teams have got 28 defensive rebounds, so it's not as though they haven't had the ball off the defensive glass.
Yep.
It probably just comes down to a matter of game style. The Supercats want to get the ball, rip and go off that glass. Eltham perhaps don't. Well, Eltham there coming up with a steal.
Yep.
They're second of the game.
They can,
only 14 behind the Geelong Supercats, who have got 16 steals for the game. And as you'd expect, the turnover count is disproportionately in Geelong's favour as well, 3 to 18.
It's indicative of the game. That's
Absolutely,
where it's been won and lost.
It'd be nice if we had the points off turnover stat that the coaches get, because I'm sure that would be considerably off. 33.
Turnovers, 33, as opposed to 0.
There you go. What's the lead? 32. So that's the lead, pretty much. Points off turnovers. Oh, trying to force it there, DeMarcus. So a couple of sloppy passes, just trying to force a little bit there by Geelong. Has seen the Eltham Wildcats pull this back to 32. Oh. I'm not sure whether that was certainly the head of the Eltham defender. But I'm not sure whether it got to Marcus in the forehead or the temple.
He's looking like he's feeling there.
Certainly.
And I think there might be, no. Like
no malice, just a good hard defensive play, and a couple of guys just run into each other. But I would dare say that the St John's 29 points outside the paint or off the foul line, they've got 21 of them from the three-point line. That really stems from that. Their long twos are not there. They've either been attacking the rim, getting at the hoop, putting pressure on the defender, going to the foul line or finishing at the rim, or they're shooting threes.
Outside shot, the right three. I'm quite impressed with your mathematics there, Sebastian.
I did good?
You did good.
Well, no one's checked it or corrected me yet, so that may quickly
Please
happen.
someone do if you heard it. No, don't do that.
A bit of a stop and play. I think Lee might have just said, Mr. Referee, I do not agree with that decision, and the referees weren't happy with it. So I think he's copped a bench tech there. It was Thomas to the line to shoot 2 free throws for Geelong. bench takes a 2 and side possession, is that right?
Yep. He is now of 5 of 10. On the free throw. Yep, looks like the fellas might be doing some more sprints at training this week with
Bend your knees, Katie. Oh my goodness. Sub AJ on. AJ's up off the bench saying, "Coach, put me in. I got these." Let's so. Zipper 3 here from the bonuses. Yeah, there we go. You'll hear the
25%.
ironic cheer from the big crowd in here on Easter Saturday as DeMarcus finally makes a free throw from the 4 that we got. Good ball reversal, finds Gatlin on the wing, open 3.
It didn't
Beautiful
really ever
pass
look
to Goodwin off the backboard.
He's just quite, oh, I don't know about that shot, but he's
got
before
blocked.
that.
Got blocked. That's why he hit the
okay.
side of the backboard. Yeah.
He's kind of just worked and worked and worked behind the scenes.
Yeah. Very unassuming, just goes about it. Of course, a late addition to this Supercats roster after Liam McInerney was found himself injured. Mark Goodwin recently moved to Torquay. He's been training with the boys all season, didn't think he'd be able to play. Leon didn't really have a spot for him. Was quite happy to just keep trying, and all of a sudden Liam gets a broken hand, and here he is.
Nice touch there by our Bradbury.
Yeah, still out there, pushing around. You really feel the buzz has gone out of the arena. Quite subdued. I think everyone's just waiting for their opportunity to get out there after the game and mingle with the players and get some autographs from their superstar Supercats. Oh! Anna, you just broke my ear. Please don't yell in the microphone.
I'm so sorry.
Having said that, perfect opportunity. Well, what? Can't blame him for yelling. Josh Skype
That's exactly what we've
got
been
in the elevator, went up to the 3rd floor and said, "I'm not high enough, I'm going to the 6th," and threw it down. And that's what we were asking for. We were asking for that little bit of a spark, and it's just too little too late.
Yeah. I sincerely apologise for hurting everyone's ears.
And Mark Goodwin again, just nice little hesitation, up and under, draws a foul, makes the basket, goes to the line.
We've got Bly and Tang coming on. And Friendy and DeMarcus Gatlin a rest.
Well-deserved rest for
Probably
DeMarcus. Probably done for the night. 25 minutes, 28 seconds, 27 points at 55% from the field. 5 rebounds and 5 assists for DeMarcus. Another good night at the office.
So DeMarcus Gatlin's best was 21 against Frankston.
So season high for Gat tonight.
Yep.
So I don't know whether you just noticed there that great effort there by Mbega. Just noticed there that Josh Sykes got the ball on the 45, and the Supercats defence all dug into the lane. He was at the 3-point line. He did not look like shooting at all, but he's come up with a nice pass there to a cutting McBeggar on the back door. But you just wonder about an import wing player in these days, the way basketball is at the moment.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Not taking that 3. He's got to at least, I don't know, makes the defence really easy if you can just pack the paint, especially with the way the game's going globally. It's such a 2 and 3 game. That's probably tech. Bit of frustration there from Dave Shafford. Maybe he's got the Pumas on too, because his feet just slipped from underneath him.
I think what's been really evident, and what happens with teams when they're new into a league or playing at a level that they're not used to, is
really good leadership here from Josh Sykes. Dave Shafford got a technical foul, showed some frustration. The group got around him. Josh Sykes went and put his arm around him, said, "Hey mate, it's okay, we feel your pain. Just take it a little bit easy. We got your back. We're in this. It's a long season." Yep. Really good to see the group of Eltham Wildcats there get together and have that little chat.
Shows a lot of character.
Does show a lot of character, yeah. 28-point lead, 3 minutes 53 seconds to go here at the Geelong Arena. Geelong Supercats leading. Trying to make it a 2-from-2 evening for the Supercats on Easter Saturday. Ball sees both sides of the floor. Louis gets an open jump shot and hits the side of the backboard.
There are certainly positives to come out of the game because Eltham showed glimpses.
They have.
Glimpses of good basketball.
Just that composure at this level that the Supercats have been able to show.
Consistency and composure. And
even though Geelong's not a veteran team, it looks like a veteran team playing a rookie team, so to speak.
Well, if you look at the team that's out there now for the Supercats, yes, it's definitely not a veteran team, but you've got some pretty experienced players. I'm talking
about compared to the veteran teams that they put on the floor last year. But you're right, there are still some very experienced. DeMarcus, Marlowe, Nick Owusu is certainly a veteran of the competition, but it's really where it stops. You take, of course, Geelong having lost 600 games, 700 games between Nathan Herbert and Jamie Medved, and then Chris Blixstav's going to Sunbury.
Yep.
Christian Rocci leaving.
Yeah, no, you've proven me.
So they are a new team. They are a new team in terms of having played together. Whilst there's some guys. Oh, Louis, run away from it. Love the fight.
But there's bit under 3 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Louis been around the Geelong basketball circle for a while.
Yeah, he has.
Liam McInerney is not playing tonight. He's been there for a number of years now.
Louis and Lee having a little bit of combination on the sideline there. Trevor Lee, the coach of the Wildcats, and Louis just pointing and giving the thumbs up. I'm not sure whether that's directed at Josh Sykes, who just had a little bit of a push and shove with Louis there.
Got to take that.
Good outlet. He's shooting that. Oh, nice pass in the end. Nice fake. Nice finish. I think it's probably fortunate for Lewis Thomas there that Louis Varley bobbled that pass, because Louis, after being in a little bit of an indiscretion with the player, is certainly not going to take a backward step when it comes to a three-point attempt and a bit of room to throw it up. Goodwin picking up the foul and the rebound there. Just had no choice but to grab the big fella, Simon Bradbury, by the elbow there. That's about as high as he could reach, and Bradbury was about to put it in over his head, so he just grabbed him. Good foul.
Good foul. Got to take that. Well done by Bradbury there. Nice rebound.
He's quietly put together a nice little game. 17 and 7, I think, now for the big fella.
Yep. Oh, nice tip in there. Lewis Thomas has just outworked everyone tonight.
Yeah, speaking of nice games, Lewis Thomas now with 20 and 12 with 3 assists at 47% from the field.
You say he's let's see, 60% at the free throw. 6 of 10. You'd want to up that a little bit, but on the whole, it's a pretty well-rounded game.
Just seen Grandy Grays check in, and he does not look interested at all. He just wandered over to the sidelines. He's talking to Michael Rabula. Not sure he's too impressed with Coach Trevor Lee pulling him in for the last minute in a 32-point deficit. I do empathise with him a little bit. He hasn't played the whole last quarter, I don't think. He sat for that time. Got a lot of K's in your legs as a professional athlete.
Yeah, it's the risk of injury is certainly a bit greater.
That's about a young fella. Bad luck. You might hear through the effects, Mike. Obi McBeggar just airballed his first free throw on the 2 attempts there. So Geelong crowd just saying, come on, mate, you can get this one. Bit of encouragement.
Encouragement.
Absolutely. Geelong crowds are,
Yep.
wouldn't do anything but goaltending.
It was on its way down. No?
I tell you, one person who wasn't on his way down was Josh Sykes. He was still going
He was
up when he
still
blocked
going
that.
up, yeah.
Goodness me. Well, we've seen the highlight of the night and the almost highlight of the season from Josh Sykes. Has he got something left in the bag? No.
Oh. I
Does
wonder
see
if he
himself
can
going
bring some agility to when he attacks the basket. He's got the verticality.
His game does appear to be straight line only at the moment, doesn't it? Yeah, if you could add that step that most players now these days have, the ability to step around a defender.
He's got everything else.
Hits
In
the
terms
free
of
throw.
athleticism, yep.
Still would like to see his figures of 6 rebounds get a little bit higher with that athleticism. He had 4 at halftime, so he's only added another 2 to that. Has only played 22 minutes, so did find himself in early foul trouble. But has managed to only stay on those 2 fouls he picked up in the first couple of minutes. So, Lewis Thomas just flecked out the whole front line of the Eltham Wildcats then.
That is an ambitious shot.
Trying to put GG in a blender. And that might be it for the Eltham Wildcats forays on offence. You would expect Geelong to just take the air out of this game. David Cecil, head of the score bench. I'm not sure why you're calling the referee over. There is 16.7 seconds to go, mate. Understand where the game is at and just let the clock tick. And funnily enough, they had it right to start with. And here we go. 14 seconds to go. Geelong holding a 31-point lead. Looks like it'll be 2 for 2 for the Luina Geelong Supercats on this Easter Saturday doubleheader. Fantastic performance from the guys. Great to see AJ Williams out there making his home debut and his debut for the Supercat family. I think Coach O'Neill will be looking for more of that over the upcoming games. Geelong Supercats find themselves with a little bit of a quirky doubleheader next week. They fly to Canberra to take on the COE on Thursday afternoon, Anzac Day. They actually fly up Wednesday evening. They'll go to the dawn service, both teams, which is a fantastic tribute to our Anzac heroes. They'll represent the club at the dawn service in Canberra, and then they'll head over to the COE, the old AIS, and do battle against their teams. They'll fly back Thursday evening. They'll have a day off, and then they'll be back at the Geelong Arena to take on the Kilsyth Cobras. So Kilsyth, as we know, historical powerhouses in both the men's and women's teams. So that'll be certainly a challenge after having to travel interstate. Thursday, back Thursday night. There's one training for both teams beforehand, so before fronting up against traditional powerhouses at the Seabull. Now, of course, in the NBL1, the Kilsyth Cobras. So for all those Geelong fans watching that couldn't make it to the arena tonight, get down to the Geelong Arena next Saturday evening, where 5 o'clock tip-off, where our women's Supercats take on the Kilsyth Cobras, and then at 7 o'clock you'll see our men's Supercats looking to build on the performances of this evening, both those teams, and hopefully you can join us there. Otherwise, thanks for listening. From Anna Teague and Seb Loader, it's farewell from the Geelong Arena. Well done to the Geelong Supercats sweeping the evening.
Night, everyone.